Hey everybody, we are on Cordova. This is what Cordova looks like. We're live right now because we have our first team coming up the hill. We're going to go ahead and turn it around. Here you go. Come on out if you're in Anchorage and cheer on the teams. We've got our radio set up here. Bib number 2 is going to be Gary Markley from Salcha, Alaska, the first team up. Gary Markley, you're on the hill, folks. Cordova's narrower this year. And there he is, Gary Markley, looking great. First team up, another team coming right behind him. Nice job, Gary. Look at that, team charged right up. Boom, we got a team right behind. So the action just started here on Cordova. Make sure you're streaming the radio, 5:90 a.m. Thanks for joining us again. Welcome back. Your first team just went up the hill. That was Gary Markley, bib number 2. And here we go. We got Brent Beck right now, bib number 1. So they're holding position more or less. There you go, day 1, that's fine. All right.
Number 1.
Here we go. We had a little bit of race action. Now what we're going to do is another team's coming down. This is going to be KP, I'm pretty sure. Looks like an orange.
All right, there we go. Gary Markley, Brent Beck.
Orange bib, folks. We're just tuning in to Heartbreak Hill, day 1 of the Ronde. It's a little narrower this year. You can see how narrow that track is. I'm going to guess this is Crux Parteau from Eagle River, Alaska. Make sure you share this feed and tag folks. This is the crux of the race.
Let's go right now. Let's go to Tudor Road. And Brian, what do you have?
Look at those lead dogs just powering. Yeah, KP's running along. Look at that. That is a fantastic day 1 run for KP. He will be very pleased with that. Those dogs are charging up that hill. Okay. Now we play the waiting game, folks. This is part of dog mushing. As you can tell, we listen to our radio, 590. Cordova and 15th.
I'd say he's probably very close now to making that turn there down the stretch.
Okay, so make sure you're tuned in.
So, a lot of action. We're going to have a lot of dog teams coming down the avenue.
And then here we go. Folks are lining the streets right now, waiting for the next team. Wow, that was exciting.
On here, the 2020 Open World Championship Sled Dog Race. You're listening to it live on CBS Sports.
All right, cool. There they go. Those guys are going to tune out. We're just going to wait here for a minute.
Back to Tudor Road. And Brian, what do you have?
Okay, so let's do a little recap there. So we had bib number 1 coming up in second place. So Brent Beck has fallen back to behind Gary Markley. So Brent Beck came up second. Gary Markley came up first. Armin Johnson, I hear, has lost a dog or has slowed down and is working on getting his team back together. You do have to finish with your team. There can be loose dogs. It does happen. And they have to go ahead and get them back in their team and make it home. KP, Crux Parteau, came up the hill 3rd. And so now we're keeping an eye out for the rest of the list. I have a list right here. It's going to be backwards in the camera there. But you should go to asdra.org, asdra.org, and you should look at the trail map and then stream the radio. I know we're having some issues there, but 5:90 a.m., that's what we're doing. So we're listening to the guys in downtown, and then we're waiting, and we're looking down this road right here. This is where the teams come around the corner, but as this race spreads out, not but at the same time. Temperatures definitely warming up. This morning it was much colder. When I left Willow, it was -9, and now we're probably at 20, 25 degrees. So wherever you are in the world, let us know who you're cheering for. And here we go. You can hear some of the native calls for the dog teams. You'll hear that in the Arctic a lot.
Yeah, lots of action here. Guy Gerard was real fast. He was at 75.23, and then just now it was Buddy Streeper trailing Greg Taylor. I think he's about to pass him.
All right, and we've got
Bib 3, okay, Armin's found his way. Armin Johnson coming up from Whitehorse, Canada right now. Armin Johnson, bib number 3, he left at 12:06. So here he is on Cordova.
Welcome the first team back across the finish line. This for day 1. It's Gary Markley. It is team 2, Gary Markley.
There you go, Armin, go get him, buddy.
All right, so
Armin looking good, good clean day 1. That's what you want as a musher. As long as your team doesn't shut down and just keeps moving, that's a good day on Heartbreak Hill. You have a team shut down below, get overheated, get over-psyched out, get nervous, get tangled, whatever it is, that becomes a long day on Cordova Hill. So we're looking back down it. They come around the bend, and then they hit that funnel, and they got to charge, and they got to face this big monster climb. The climb starts right there. So from there all the way up, you can see how steep it is here. That's why I set myself up below the traffic, so you can see how hard this hill is. And Armin is back in the game. So here's what's happened so far. Here's my start list from today. And Gary Markley came up the hill first, then Brent Beck, then KP, Carouche Parteau, then Armin. So we had a little swapping around there in the top 4, and now we're going down the list. And this was the start order that they drew on Thursday night. This is what I'm working off of. And thanks everybody for joining us earlier today. If you haven't caught the live feeds, boy, we had some amazing race actions, really good happy dogs, really great coordination. You can see how everybody works together in the city. There's one of our volunteers up there, Kimberly, working the road. And you can see the crowd is up and down and all around. Thanks for joining us here on Cordova Hill. We've had 4 teams come up, and we're playing the waiting game right now. Just wait for team number 5. They'll be coming around the bend down there. When they do come, it is getting warm. I can tell you right now, it is getting warm. So just to give a recap from downtown, the race starts were real clean. We had really good starts right on 4th. No issues. The live stream has all the close-ups for you. But then somewhere down the road, as tends to happen, a dog or two or a team can get loose. A lot of jitters, a lot of power. These dogs feel excited, so there have been some issues on the trail that will get resolved. But mainly what we're waiting on right now is just the natural pacing of the dog teams. You cannot run this race too fast on day 1 or you'll never be a champion. Here comes a team right now. And yep, Heartbreak Hill is where this race can be won or lost. Here we go. And we're all kind of working together up here. So we got some binoculars. And we got our checklist, right? That's what I showed you earlier. So somewhere in there, we're looking to see who's in that range right there. See who that team is.
And Buddy Streeper was at 73.05. And that...
This is either Don Cousins or Danny Beck, it looks like. Let's see. It looks like Don Cousins to me. Don Cousins coming up the hill. There they go. Good clean uphill. There's Don kicking, not running but kicking. There he is. Good solid dog team.
Let's go back to Cordova Hill in Vienna. What do you have?
Okay, so that's a pass there. That means Danny Beck fell back. Let's take a look back at our hill on our checklist there. So, Don Cousins, bib number 6, has jumped up above Danny there in the order.
Thank you very much, Deanna. Cordova Hill.
So now we're keeping an eye out. And you can see if you're following some of your favorites, if you're following Marvin Cochran or Guy Gerard, or if you're a Greg Taylor fan or Buddy Streeper, Jeff Kahn, Tetzner, they're all back there. And they're not looking to make up that much time today. It's about pacing. They're going to stick with their pace. The general rule of thumb at the Ronde is you go out 1 second too fast per mile on the opening day, and you'll come home 5 seconds slower per mile. So everything is down to the science of the dogs and what they can handle. It's tempting to go fast. Here is Cordova Hill. And this is my little setup here. I've got my radio, my La Croix, and my thermos of coffee. My teammates across the road are keeping an eye on the bibs. right? And then we're waiting on that next team, which is right here. So here we go. Let's zoom it in. Let's see if this is Danny Beck or another team.
Team number 3, that is Armin Johnson. And we know Armin had a little bit of trouble at Tudor.
Bib 8, Marvin Cochran coming in, a veteran of this race. He's moved up a couple positions, passing Todd Whitcomb and Don Cousins. Marvin Cochran out of the Fairbanks area. Here he is. Let's follow those lead dogs. Are they going to stay focused? Yes, they are. Great job, Marvin. There's Marvin running. Let's see him. Charging right up there. That is a beautiful hill climb. If you want to look at what somebody who's making it easy looks like, Marvin just made that look easy, folks. This is not an easy hill climb. That is a nice, smooth way to do. Thanks for all the shout outs. I can hear y'all at home cheering them on. And again, all these folks will jump on and they'll watch later. So whatever you comments or hearts or anything you say to the mushers is part of the living archive that'll be part of this race. So it's a neat little scrapbook type thing here. So let's hear from you. Tag a friend, share the feed. Here comes another team, and it's fun to see who is it going to be. Who's it going to be in there? Let's see. Let's see. Maybe Gee moved up. Maybe it's Danny Beck. All right, Danny Beck making his way. He dropped some positions, but bib number 5 is in the game. He's been passed by Don Cousins and Marvin Cochran. You can hear him calling out. There he is. He's got him calling up. That's what he's got to do. That's Danny's style right there. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Guy Girard right now, folks. Guy coming. Exciting race action. Guy Girard from Canada. There he is. Guy Girard running hard. Team made it over the crest. How cool is that? We got 2 more teams coming. This race action is going to be good here, folks. Make sure to share the feed. Let's get this to people who need to see what Heartbreak Hill is like, how this city can transform a regular street into a dog event of epic proportions. This is a road, folks. We drive this road. This is a city here. Holy moly, folks. We're going to zoom in on this. Okay, this is going to be Buddy Streeper and Todd Whitcomb right now. Bud Streeper, Todd Whitcomb. Let's see if we got a hook down or if we're okay. Here it is. There he is. Buddy running it up. Running it up. There he is. What a nice pass. And Greg Taylor. Okay, that was Greg, not Todd. Todd's still back there. Okay, nice job, Greg. That was some tight race action. Holy moly. Holy moly. Let's do a little recap there, folks. Okay, so bib number 11, Buddy, has passed Greg Taylor, Todd Whitcomb, and has made his way up that hill. So that was a pretty exciting bit of racing there. Go back, rewind it a little bit, open up another browser, open up for Rondi, zoom back, and let's look at that pass again. That was super, super cool. So no tangles there. That was Bud Streeper and Greg Taylor making a lower the hill Cordova pass. We're still missing Todd Whitcomb out there. Everybody else in the top 11 has made it up the hill. Guy Girard had a nice clean run. Marvin had a great run, Marvin Cochran. Don Cousins stayed on the runners and kicked his way up the hill. Danny Beck kept his team focused and running. And then KP had a really nice run too. So did Gary Markey was the first team up this hill. So if you're watching at home, Gary Markey came up first, and then we went down the list. Brent Beck, Carouche Parteau, then into Armin and on the way. So here we go. Let's turn it around. Yeah, that was some cool racing right there, folks. Holy moly. Let's see who's down there. That's where they have to come around. You can see how much more narrow the street is this year. This is a tight chute, folks. It normally comes out another couple feet either direction. So let's get you back up looking at letting all the traffic by. So as long as we can let traffic through, we will. And then as soon as we have to shut her down, that means the team's coming. So, all right, Jim Sturley joining us, folks from all around the world joining us. We're in between teams right now. We just had a super exciting pass with Buddy Streeper. We're waiting on another team to come around that corner. What we're looking for is a dog team to appear right there. That's when they start to come down the approach for Cordova Hill. They've run almost 24 miles, over 20 miles by the time they get there. So keep an eye on that, and then you can see all the road crews, the shovel crews, the city maintenance crews making this happen, people cheering on the teams. So yeah, that was for everybody who watched that pass, that was pretty darn exciting there. Wow, and one of the reasons why I really love this hill is because for me, like a lot of you, trying to learn about what these dogs are thinking, is they do have to make a decision. I mean, every dog makes a decision every day. Am I going straight ahead? Am I dinking around? Am I going to go into the crowd? Am I going to, visit with my neighbor dog and get all tangled up? And I've seen all the above here. So those of you who followed the race for a long time know that at this point in the race, you really just pray that your lead dogs are going to keep that whole team driving forward. It's all in the lead dogs. If they can keep this team focused uphill, everybody makes it look easy. But the minute those lead dogs are distracted, like you saw, Danny Beck had to really kind of guttural yell out to his dogs to keep them focused because they were starting to look around. They were looking at me. They were looking at the fans. They were looking, and we're keeping an eye on right down here, folks. We're looking right here for the next team. Appreciate all the shout outs there. Hey, Bruce Magnuson's watching. That must mean his wife's on. And remember, any comments you leave here for the mushers or their families, the mushers will all see this. This is the official Fur Rondi feed. There's only one, and it's free for everybody. We're waiting for that next team to come around, but Buddy Streeper, bib number 11, passed Greg Taylor, bib number 10, just at the first part of this hill, just a few minutes ago. So we're still missing bib number 7, Todd Whitcomb. Gary Markley was the first team up the hill. Really nice run for Gary. And then Brent Beck, then Karush, then Armin, and Don Cousins, Marvin Cochran. Really nice run. He passed a few folks. So at least in that top 10. And remember, if you were standing here, you were looking right there. And Karen, Karen just said Buddy's team looked amazing. And we were actually a little worried that we were going to have some sort of cluster. Whenever you have this many dogs, it doesn't take much to get a little tangle started. And once somebody has to hook down, then all bets are off. So neither team really had to hook down. They got their pass clean. And I'm looking for some of your comments right now. I know Antje saying great moment. Karen Ramstead saying Buddy team looked amazing. Right on. All your comments are so good. And we appreciate you joining us both at this live feed and also tomorrow at 11 for the pregame, noon for the race. And then again Sunday, 11 pregame, noon for the race, and we'll also be live streaming the banquet on Sunday at 6 p.m. And that would be assuming that we all have our voices still left. So we're in between teams right now. There's two ways to do a live feed. One is I just have you watch a blank road, or two, we engage and we talk about how exciting that was to have Bud Streeper pass Greg Taylor right on the team. So Christy Lent asks, where's Don Cousins' team? He went up. He did quite well. So Don Cousins has definitely moved up at least a spot. He had passed Danny for sure, Danny Beck. So bib number 6, Don Cousins, Canadian favorite. He has passed at least one team. And Nina said, take care of my voice. She knows those 8-hour Q-Pause marathons. And great to have you joining from Oaxaca, Lori, Cliff Cullings, giving a shout out. Thanks so much. Okay, so Christy, we got your question answered there about Cousins. He's looking good. And then Tony, you want to Not seeing a Rondi button. Oh, haha. No, right now I'm wearing my Seeing Devil Good Luck Anna and Christy Barrington headband because I knew it was going to be hot today. And then I've got my my yaka on and my Sea Fur Sewing Ruff, Wolverine and Wolf. And then I've got my Ulvang sweater from Norway, my nonstop Ulvang sweater and my buff. And now I'm too warm. Now it's just too much. So when there's a big break in the action like there is right now, if you're like me, you start wondering if all the teams are just tangled in a gigantic ball down there, but they're not. They're spread out, and some teams will start getting stacked up, but the trail is in really good condition. Let me look for some more of your comments here. John Stewart said, was a great moment on day one. Right on. Okay, yeah, so the people who are more experienced could read into some of those plays down there. Greg made the right call just to hold off a little bit to avoid the tangle. That's really important. I mean, I think anytime there's money on the line, anytime there's these big titles on the line, mushers train their whole careers to be on this stage and have a chance at the podium. Not even to win it, just to be on the podium. You look at the list of champions. To get your name on that list is next to impossible. And okay, here we go. Team coming. So they want to avoid those tangles. They want to get as clean a run as possible. Jeffrey Kahn, race veteran Jeff Kahn, bib number 12, coming right up. Jeff Kahn from Esther, Alaska. Dr. Kahn, look at him. There's Jeff running up nicely with his team. They've made it over the crest. They're driving straight ahead. And that should be a good, clean uphill for him. He'll be proud of that. Here comes another team. So there we go. We're back in the race action. Bib 13, Michael Tetzner from Germany. All you Michael Tetzner fans, here he is. The Hilton Canine crew was helping out Michael earlier. Thanks to Hilton for sponsoring. There he is. Probably feeling a little warm right now, but it gets cold. Michael Tetzner, clean uphill. Okay. Oh, wow. That was exciting. Okay, let me try to catch up with your comments here. That was Jeff Kahn and Michael Tetzner. We have Thomas Minnick, all right, joining from the Swedish Slapland. Right on. Thanks for joining us from all over the world. And so whenever you want to know what the next team is, it's not an exact knowing because some things can happen between the next checkpoint and here. So this is sprint mushing where you can come to the streets of Anchorage, you can stand on the streets, you can stand on the trails, you can watch teams, you can listen to the radio, you can watch the live feed. So we put all those pieces together, and then in between things can happen because it is a dog race. So we're just keeping an eye right now on where that next team's going to come. And while we're doing that, we'll try to get some of your Q&A answered. Okay, so Christy Lent wants to recap what happened with Streeper. So Streeper and Greg Taylor were both at the bottom of the hill at the same time. Inexperienced teams, and one of our live viewers, John Stewart, was commenting on this. The more experienced the team, the more you know you don't want a problem on this hill. You don't want to tangle and spend time here. So that's what happened. They avoided a tangle. Buddy passed Greg. Greg held off a little bit. And they both had clean runs up the hill. All right, we're looking for a bib number here. We got binoculars. Two teams coming. That does look like Dunlap, doesn't it? Amy Dunlap, bib number 16. Here she is in her classic uphill charge. She finished third last year. This is a serious musher. There she is. She's getting them over. They slowed down for sure, but they're getting over. And then here's Todd finally. Todd Whitcomb Todd is in. Little distraction here. There's Todd running. You can do it, buddy. Stay focused, man. Okay, those dogs are a little more wobbly. You can hear the crowd cheering them on. Wow, that was exciting. Okay, so we're looking for the next team down the trail right here. While we're doing that, I'll look at your comments here. Roberta Chase following us from Maine. Great to have you. Christina asks, why is the roads narrower? That's a great question. I'll find out a little bit more if different crew this year, or if, but they should have enough snow. Okay. Greg Taylor, Marvin Cochran, and Lance Mackey have a fan, and Stan Bearup. Right on, Stan. Thanks for sharing that comment with us there. Yes, if you're looking for the streeper pass of Greg Taylor, it happened about 15 minutes ago. Okay, right on. Everybody's tuned in. We got our whole family from around the world here. So we're looking. This is how you do it on Cordova. The team will come around that bend right there. And so in the meantime, we catch up on all the what happened, because that was whew. It seems narrower to me. I remember last year we're having a little discussion about how narrow this is. This is definitely a narrower street of snow. The sides have been brought in. You can see how plowed out they are. You can see how much room there is here. See, this is a really big area here. Okay. So we have got a race on our hands. Yep, so remember, let me go ahead and show this to you. This is what I use. All the rookies are still out there. We still have not seen Mike. We've seen Mike Tetson. We have not seen Lance Mackey, Wendy Callis. Amy did pass Wendy and Lance. We haven't seen any of the rookies yet. The really good rookie class. There's my coffee stain right there. So we're still looking for our rookies out there. And that would include Eric LaForce from Quebec. Wow, so many great comments here. I'm just catching up on everything, listening to the radio, watching everybody there. There's Bob Allen from Medicine Hat, Alberta joining us. Patrick Campbell from Callahan, California, welcome. Thad McCracken is bib number 20, and he's out there on the trail. All right, Larry Mark Sr. joining us online from Tok, Alaska. Russ Gregory, one of our great Canadian promoters of the sport, sat on some big boards in his day, put a lot of volunteer hours in. Thanks for that, Greg. That's at that World Championship level. And here you can see your crew on the hill, the kiddos. Friday's always a little bit more mellow, and then Saturday, Sunday, of course, get crazy, and we'll be here both days. Temperature, Rachel Taylor just asked, how's the temperature? It is warming up here, folks, for sure. And yeah, it's just sunny and nice. So snow's in good shape. Trail's getting softer for sure. But you can see people are bundled up in the shade, and then, I mean, here you go. It's still winter. It's still winter in Anchorage. We had -9 this morning at my house in Willow, which is where the Iditarod will restart next week. And then it's warmed up to about 15, 20, 25 degrees. So there's our bib spotter. She has the binoculars. All right, Nina's joining us from Norway, but she should be here any day now. Next week, we'll have Nina come in. Voyager Dawn joining us from Fort Chippewa, Alberta. Welcome. Right on. Yeah, the snow's in good shape. We took that trail run yesterday and filmed a whole lot of it so you could see it. We're definitely in winter. It's not like there's a brown landscape around us at all. It's beautiful winter here. You can see how much coverage in the fields all out here. That gives you the indicator, right? We have winter. We have snow. What happens though, you get 40-something, 50-something paws per team. Teams hammer in this trail, and by team 15-20, it's going to be a softer trail. And it's going to be a slower trail. And then you get the temperature change for your runners. They have the sled dog plastic and everything. So let's go ahead and get back into some Q&A here. Hi, everybody. I'm doing my normal read the phone, keep an eye on the trail, and just like you all, soak it all in and wonder what it all means, because the Rondi's such an exciting puzzle. They don't run with trackers on them necessarily, so it's a little different than our distance races that we're used to. And there's so much strategy. Remember, if you go out too fast on any of these days, these dogs will always run faster than you want them to. It's a principle of mushing at this World Championship level. The dogs will always want to go faster, and the greatest temptation is for you to let them do that. By you letting the dogs go above their ideal pace, where they've tuned into being a perfect dog team, they can become a tired dog team on mile 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's where the race is lost. The race is not won by sprinting 1 or 2 seconds faster in the first 10 or 15 miles. It's lost on losing time on the back end of these races. It's a 3-day event too, so they have to get through today. And there's what we're looking for. You can always hear it in the crowd too. People notice a team coming. There's Mandy Kilpatrick watching right on. And Christy Lent just said this should really be renamed Heart Attack Hill. Okay, here's the team coming up right now. Thanks for joining us. So the Norwegians are well represented online here watching. Experts and champions are on this feed, so ask your questions. This looks like Wendy right here. Yep, this is going to be Wendy. Wendy Callis, pivot at 15. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay. They can get help. So Kim's going to run down and help out. It's okay. She's going to get him back on the trail. There we go. Of course, this is a very challenging place to keep your poise, but as you can see behind her, there are no teams coming. So this is actually an ideal bad situation. If you're going to have a bad situation, have an ideal one, right? Mushing is not easy. It's not a machine. Dogs aren't a machine, so things are going to happen. You want them to happen as good in the bad ways they can. So there they go. They're back on. Looking great. There's Wendy. Nice job, Wendy. Yeah, look at that. Team made it up and over. Boom, off and running. So that's one of the things that can happen here, is your dog team can just dive off the side of the trail. And boy, I bet you Wendy's heart just fell out of the bottom of her stomach. The volunteers can go help the team. They're all club members. The rules are Kim Well is right down there to help out, so it's not like it's a complete hands-off event. We don't want the dogs getting hurt. We don't want them running into people's yards and that kind of thing. This is not about that. This is about putting on a world-class event, but making sure that the dogs stay safe. So Matthew Illingworth from our online audience has asked, do they race only during the day on this race? That's a really good question. Let's get to that. So Matthew, we're going to keep an eye, member, again on the trail down here, but I'll answer your question. This is a daytime race that begins at noon and takes about 80 to 90 to 100 minutes per team. So 25 miles, 3.5 to 4 minute miles, plus sprinting all out, one run, and they're back to their dog trucks. That means each day by about midday, the dogs get to get their water, go for rest, and then they're done. They're off for the rest of the night. Mushers will get a massage, get their paws looked at, make sure they're eating well. It's the distance races where we start seeing the mushing at night, or different race organizers mixing things up. But for this World Championship, for this event, it's always been a celebration of spring and a celebration of light. The Fur Ronde started in 1936. This is the time of year when trappers and guides and the villagers get together historically and bring their winter goods and their trapped summer goods to Anchorage, celebrate spring, trade, get all the fun and partying and racing in. And this is where George Atla, after the race started in 1946 and 1958, George won his first race. So all these big names, the Wrights, Lombards, Eggle Ellis, all these huge names in mushing have all done the same daytime race. Here we go. Let's spin it around for you and get right in here. Excellent. Another team coming, so we're looking to see where Lance Mackey might be. He's going to need to come up this hill here soon. So Lance is the only team in the lineup who has not made it out of the non-rookie group. Okay, this is bib number 19, Alex Crittenden. She's from Wyoming. Awesome gal. First time at the Ronde. So she's past Frank Haberman. She's past Lance. They're doing it. They're doing it. Nice job, Alex. Look at that. The crowd's out. Okay, so she kept it together. That's pretty nice. We're still missing Lance out there, though. It'd be nice to see dog team coming. You heard the call. Alex Crittenden right there. She just came up the hill. Okay, this is this Tony? Dog team coming, folks. We got another dog team behind them. Okay, this is going to be Frank Haberman right here from Clam Gulch, Alaska. Frank Haberman, better known as a distance musher. There he is. He's running right along. So there's your Frank Haberman right there. And then let's get down here. That looks like a Lance Mackey to me. That kind of kick looks like Lance. 14, here he is, the legend, four-time Iditarod champion, Lance Mackey, in his rookie debut here. The legend. There he is, the legend, running up the hill, doing it. Lance Mackey, everybody's favorite fighter. You can see the crowd's getting a little bit thicker here on a Friday. Thanks for sharing that feed. Get it out there. Holy moly. That was some great action. Frank Haberman, bib 18. Alex Crittenden before that, bib 19. And Lance Mackey. So that was a good little set of three. We're still missing Tony Blanford out there. He's the Anchorage gentleman who's leasing a streeper team. And then we're waiting on the rest of our rookies. So we're waiting on this list now with Thad McCracken. Yep. And Eric LaForce we're still waiting on. Bruce Magnuson. Regine. And Eli Campbell, not Ellie. She goes by Eli. It's Dave Turner's partner. Maya Hardam, the 18-year-old rookie running champion dog team of the Hardam family. They got their dogs from Arlie Reynolds. And those, some of the dogs in that team have crossed this line as Ronde champions. And then, of course, Hans Gott, everybody's favorite. So that's where we're at right now. And we'll have another wave of mushers. As you can tell, they come in little sets, right? And we wish we had the biggest camera in the world to just slow it all down and take it all in. But we do this, I like this mid-slope so you can see if the dog team's going to charge up or if they're going to break down. This is quite the perspective here. And of course, people cheering for dog teams. Mushers would prefer if everybody just were quiet and let the dogs just focus on running. But sometimes the people think that making a big ruckus, of course, I always like to hoot once they've gone by me. And I give them a big shout out because when I run this race someday, I know I probably won't sleep for a month beforehand, worried about this hill right here, because this is where it's at, folks. Super cool, exciting traditions here. So we need to see some folks come in here. We need to see Eric LaForce. We need to see Thad McCracken. We need to see Bruce Magnuson, LaForce, He's a threat on this race. A very fast dog team, very good musher. I've talked to a lot of folks about him. I haven't had a chance to talk to him. Talked to Mike Santos this morning. Mike said that he worked with Eric years ago. Talked to Buddy about him this morning. He's a real threat, but where is he on the trail right now? So day one as a rookie is really hard because you're way down there in the list. So we're going to hold steady here. And let's see if we can get a team to manifest itself coming around the corner. Let's see, here's your crew looking at the road. They have the radios up there. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors. Here's all the comments. Charlie Odegaard, all right, joining us from Arizona. Oh, see, my favorite is when the kids call it out. Here they come. Okay, they can look way down there and see the dog team. Oh my gosh. All right, wherever you're joining us from, cheer on your favorite musher, leave a comment for them, throw a heart up. And they will watch this later. This is the official live feed, the official scrapbook. This looks like a fast-looking team here. Is this our Eric LaForce? Bib 21. Yep, here he is. So if you're cheering on LaForce, tune in right now. This is it. We'll give you the full view. Man, they're flying. There he is, the Canadian Quebecois, Eric LaForce, on his first trip up the Heartbreak, his first time in his career. They look great. That's a quality championship team right there. Let's see what their times are, but wow. Okay, let's regroup here for a second, folks. So there's been a big who's Eric LaForce. How is he going to do against Buddy, Michael Tetzner, Carouche, Parteau, all the folks have been here before. We don't know, but he looked great right there. So that's your first look at the LaForce team on Heartbreak Hill. You know, you can dream your whole life of coming here, but until you actually get your butt in this race and get your dogs here and get through all the checks and get down the trail, you'll never get on Cordova Hill. So that was his first, and they charged right up, which was super cool. A lot of Norwegians jumping on right now. Great to have them. The volunteers here are doing so much work that it's hard to even thank them all, but make sure you do that. Lloyd Gilbertson, looking forward to seeing some of these awesome rookies cross the finish line. You bet, Lloyd. And as you all know, I choose to cover what I can, and so I cover this Heartbreak Hill here, and then that leaves me unable to get to the finish in time. You can't do both here in Anchorage, and so we just have to pick and choose. I think this hill, since so much history is made here, that's why I choose that, but I don't ever want to let anybody down, and we're trying to do the best we can. So let's see. Dog limit for the race. Okay, Roberto Chase just asked me, online audience. So when we call it an open class, I'll explain this as we watch this team come in. They can start with as many dogs as they want, literally 100 dogs. But if your dogs get tired, you have to carry them. So there you go. You can start with as many dogs as you want, but you're responsible for getting every one of them back across the finish line. Okay, good looking team here. Let's see if this is...
Come on, guys! Come on!
Here we go. Who is it? Is that Bruce Magnuson right there? There he is.
Come on, come on! Straight ahead, straight ahead, straight ahead, straight ahead!
Bruce Magnuson.
Go, 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 go! Run!
There's Bruce giving it his all.
He looked pretty good.
He did.
Well, I should say the dogs look good. He was tired.
Bruce is tired, but the dogs look good.
That's right.
Lots of shout outs for the volunteers here. Just so you know, Kim, so you can spread it around. We appreciate it for sure. Okay, we've got a few more question marks, right? Because we need Eli Campbell in. We need Thad McCracken in. We need Tony Blanford. We need Maya Hardam. And we need Hans Gott. So that's who we're missing right now. We're missing bib 17. And we're missing, let's, okay, there we go. So, we're waiting. Yeah, all the little dramas at Anchorage. Here comes another team. Okay, good. 2 teams. Okay, folks, I'm going to stand up for this one. This is going to get exciting here. Look at this. We're on an iPhone XS, zoomed in for you, AT&T, high priority service. Trying to get you the best.
You'll never be in the right place. I've already told one to get there. If it's not there, she's got to do it. Right? 25 is in the lead.
Okay, Maya Hardam's the first team. Here comes Maya Hardam. Dogs on Maya's team have won this race with Arlie Reynolds and Roxy right before, so here they are. She's a rookie, but her team is not. Okay, there's Maya. Let's just get. And then here's the next team. We'll see. That's their view charging up. There he is, Dad McCracken. Bam, that team's moving, so that's what you want to see. You just want to see the magic carpet keep going. Another team, here we go. Oh, this is getting so exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is Maya Hardam just went up, then Thad McCracken, so big passes there for Maya. This is Regine Tharian right now. Regine coming up. A little distracted right dog there, you can see. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're tired, but they're going to do it. Nice job, Regine, right there. They're tired, but they're going to do it. That's it. That's what you want to do. You just want to get up this hill. Get up this hill. That is the hardest part of this race. There's a million obstacles out there, but if you don't get up this hill, it doesn't matter that you made it over the bridge or through the tunnel or through the park or down the road or anything. It doesn't matter. You have to get up this hill. Wow, so many great shout outs to Lance Mackey there. He'll love those. Yeah, so Lance Mackey's not a rookie of the Rondi. Hans Gotts is. Okay, so Marvin Lizotte asked, how far is the finish line from the hill? Just a couple miles, Marvin. That's why this is so important. And we'll start. You guys can start posting who finished in what position. Tamara Liss is saying, yeah, I want to run it someday. Jamie and I, if we get married, we'll eventually get a team together. And this you live for this race. This is the greatest coordination of city and all of maintenance folks and the organizations and the sponsors getting this whole city transformed and shutting streets down. And I mean, look at this. It's insane. Where else does this happen? And you're in the Cook Inlet. The views are ridiculous. There's so many events going on. People come out from everywhere in the world. The school kids from the H. Hill George Outlet program, they're here. This is just an incredible gathering. So yeah, Lance looked great coming up. We had a nice interview earlier. He'd be happy with 14th. Bob Allen from our online audience. We have all sorts of great people online who join these feeds. And he drove this hill in the Iditarod with Aaron Beck 2005. I bet that was fun, the kick sleds. Okay, super cool. Now we got a big pause here again. Yeah, Eric LaForest looked really good coming up that hill, but I have no idea what his splits were right now. So
I was like,
it was great. Okay, so let's let's get back together here, folks, and map out our plan. So we've got a few more teams to come up the hill. Then my process for each day is I break down here, jump in my car, run back over, and try to catch some interviews. And then I start taking care of cleaning up these feeds, taking care of my dogs, and all sorts of stuff late into the night. And then we start it up again tomorrow. So we'll be live again downtown about 11 o'clock for the pregame. And then noon, we'll do right in downtown on the start. Just like we did today. Of course, there'll be more people in. There'll be more people using the cell towers. There'll be more people fighting for data. So there is always that possibility. But the radio stream should work, ideally. And then I'll leave after the start. Again, I'll rush over to Cordova to be here. This is where we like to post up. If Eric's team's going to shut down or Buddy's team, it's going to happen probably here. And yeah, with each day, the chances get more exciting for a shutdown because the dogs get tired. And when they get tired, they start saying, wait a second, I might not want to run up that hill. But, of course, we've seen many, many teams just charge right up it. So, okay, so Tony asked which teams had a loose dog. I believe that at one point maybe Armin had a loose dog, and I believe that Tony Blanford has maybe had an issue with the Streeper team. Not that the dogs are hurt, but just whether they're able to move forward or not. And, yeah, that was a great run from Maya Hardem. So if you're a Maya Hardem fan, those are the Arlie Reynolds dogs from the World Championship team here a couple of years ago that Roxy Wright ran and that Arlie ran. So some of those dogs have either been across the line in first or have bred dogs. So that's a super fun team for an 18-year-old to have, and she looked great. Everybody cheering her on will make her feel really, really great. And then you saw Thad McCracken working hard. Tired dogs traveled a long way to get here. So we want to always, be supportive of those teams. Yeah, I've tried to give you different looks so you can see the dog teams from the front. You can see them from the back. You can see them wobble. Remember, you're trying to train your eye to look for what a rested, strong team looks like and what a distracted, wobbly team looks like. It's kind of like in boxing, everybody's all excited in the first couple of rounds, but then by the time you start taking on some miles, taking on a little heat, taking on a little bit of pressure on the trail with teams passing, by the time you get to this hill, dogs can get a little wobbly, just like they're humans too. So we're keeping an eye out right here. And yeah, Tad has a bunch of great puppies. He's got a story that we're going to get from him later. Mike Ellis just tuned in to cheer on Tad. We all follow Tad McCracken on his social media. So if you don't, please do. He's got this great family, and they have this whole scene at home where they have dances for doing the dog scoop poop, and just like on our mushing community, there's often times when you need to be uplifted in your own life, and we rely on each other for that. So when I'm struggling with something, I'll often tune in to Tad's family down there in the lower 48, and they'll be doing something crazy in the dog barn, and it'll make me laugh, and I'll turn it on loud, and it's just great fun. So check out Tad McCracken, follow him. Okay, yeah, Lance raced in 2014 and finished 14th for Rendezvous. So there you go there. Alex Crittenden did go through. She looked great. She had a really good run up the hill. So let's compliment her on a rookie good first Cordova Hill. Mike Kenny's asking me how I'm holding the phone so steady. So I have a DJI Osmo gimbal. That's the same gimbal I've been using for the last couple of years. I've had 3 different brands. I like it a lot. It can hold an Android or an iPhone. And that's what I used in the snow machine yesterday. So it smoothed out that ride. And then you also have the, you need to have, within the iPhones are the stabilizers too. So they help to smooth out the. Okay, looking for more of your comments here while we wait for the next team. Wow, what an exciting day. I'm feeling it. Darren's asking why less picture and sound stalls. Brand new phone, and I also have a priority service with AT&T off the top of their towers. So it's trying to go for the big upgrade this year so we can get you the cleanest footage. What that priority service does is it puts your data stream above non-prioritized service, and you can then get a cleaner feed. So it's an investment, but that's what we need to do. So Lori Henderson Jacobs is asking for finish times. That's going to be from our community. I can't stand out here in the street and cover the race and talk to you and give you finish times, but you guys can. So you can be with all your computer and comfort at home and your tea and juice and whatever you have, and you can be typing in the times. And that'll help me out because I'm juggling as it is. Okay, here we go.
26,
Hans Gotts right here, the legend. These are the exact dogs that he runs on the Yukon Quest. Alaskan Huskies at their core. They're looking great. Wow. Hans Gotts killing it. He looked great. That was so cool. Hans, man. I mean, Hans. That's Hans, everybody. Hans Gotts, that was his first time running up this hill with Alaskan Huskies who can run 1,000 miles. That is so cool. He must feel great right now. So we're looking for Eli Campbell. And who else? We're looking for Tony. So we're just a couple teams away from wrapping it up. And then everybody else should be in. So I'm looking at my little cheat sheet. You guys should hopefully be looking at something at home. Have your different browsers opened up and your different way of managing it. You can look up the top of Cordova this way. And of course the radio is super good to watch or listen to. James Wheeler, how can I rewind? I'll give you a call after this. You should be able to swing back the little scroller in your feed, but it might want to bump you to live. So you'll be able to rewind here in just a second. And in fact, maybe I should sign out and start again so you guys can all watch this thing here real quick. So Matt Paveglio joining from the ER in downtown Anchorage. Here we go. Are we doing it? We have a team? Okay, folks. They're way down there. You using your eyes? Way down there. That's a 2-finger zoom on the iPhone. And let's see who this is. Eli Campbell, Dave Turner's team here. Here she is, rookie. Dogs are looking great. Go, Eli! There she is, kicking up the hill. Okay, folks. Great to have you on board. I know we do have one team technically still out there, Tony Blanford, but I'm not sure their status. So I'm going to sign off and head and get some. Oh my God. Perfect. Yes, there's a team. That's our last team. So let's do it. And then I'll head to downtown, get the last interviews, and then I'm going to rest my voice. Okay, there he is down there. Team is stopped. Starting back up. Okay, so this is the team that Tony leased. He is headed on his bucket list to be a Ferrandi musher. Teams are getting a little wobbly there. Look at this little kid cheering on. I love it. Go get him, Tony. Okay, there he is. He's working hard. Okay, there it is. Last team up and over Cordova for day one. That's huge. It's a wrap here, so we're going to go ahead and I don't know what the times and finishes are yet, but I'm going to run downtown and get you some post-race interviews real quick, and then we'll wrap up day 1 and we'll get ready for day 2. 3-day race, so if you ever want to run this yourself, it's a long road to figure out how to win this thing. We got a long way to go, folks. Day 1 doesn't tell you much, except for somebody might have gone out too fast, and we'll find that out on Sunday, okay? So it's super fun to stay tuned each day, each hour. We'll see you real soon. Thanks for tuning in.